still continuing to go live. Not entirely sure this is live yet. It's taking a bit of time to go live. Okay, still going live. Going live. And according to YouTube, I am live. Hello, who's watching live. Hello, who's watching playback. And welcome to my 46th I Want to Say live stream on this channel. So basically, if you don't know what these live streams are, essentially once and twice or maybe 3 times a week, and I will be doing it about 3 times next week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. And at the same time, though, if you are watching this live, I will be answering any live questions sent in on this live stream. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. And at the same time, though, I should say a couple of things off the bat, if you will. Basically, I live next to a main road, so I'm doing my bedroom here, which you see me doing all my YouTube videos in on my YouTube live streams and whatnot, is right next to the main road. So if you hear like a motorbike, a loud car, a truck, a tractor, or whatnot, go past at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. And also, I live in the countryside, but sometimes it does sound like I lived in a building site, because there's always like work going on at some sort going on at the houses next to me. So at any point you do hear some, like, I don't know, drilling going on around me at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. And also, I'm not sure if it's happening at the moment, but it seems like my stream is cutting in and out a bit, so apologies. It has happened in the past couple of live streams, which has been a bit annoying. But basically, if the OBS stream, which is what I'm doing the stream on, OBS, if it cuts out at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. That's out of my control, but I've seen it might be happening already, and if it does, I do apologise, like I said before. But hopefully, apart from that, it should all run pretty smoothly. But yes, today I'm talking about quite a few things. One thing in particular, which is my excitement for Spider-Man, but I'm also talking about some other things as well before I jump into Spider-Man there. And I'm actually talking about the new trailer for the new Fantastic Beasts, gonna give my opinion on that. And also, Kingsman 3 apparently is still happening, which is interesting to say the least. And yeah, I've got an error message there, by the way, so apologies yet again if the OBS stream cuts out. But I'll also be talking about my anticipation for Spider-Man No Way Home, which I'm seeing twice tomorrow. I cannot wait to see this film. I can't. So excited to see it. And I'll be talking about my anticipation and some of the early reviews that's already been out for the new film later on in this live stream. But first of all, let's talk about the new trailer for Fantastic Beasts, what's it called? The Secrets of Dumbledore. So if we jump onto Google here, optical illusion. Oh, you guys can even see the error message there. There you go. But anyway, yes, jump onto Google and here's the trailer. I've got to admit, the Fantastic Beasts franchise, I have virtually no interest in this new film. And even so, the film looks well shot, this new Fantastic Beasts film, even so it looks well shot, set pieces look great there, Jude Law looks great as a young Dumbledore. I did think he did a good job in the second Fantastic Beasts film. Then, Mads Mikkelsen looks great there as well. Again, it looks like it's well shot, and there's certain elements of these films that I like, but honestly, overall, I like the little creatures and everything as well, but honestly, overall, I've just got to admit, I have virtually no interest in this third Fantastic Beasts film, because I'm not really a fan of Fantastic Beasts films in general. They've all been rubbish in my opinion so far, and this shouldn't be a franchise. It's turned out to be like a 5-film franchise or something like that, and it doesn't need to be whatsoever. Harry Potter made sense because there was that many books, or there was something around that many books, so that kind of made sense. And in the end, you can actually extend one book into a successful franchise if you do it well, like the Hobbit films in my opinion. But the thing is though, these films just are so low on story and anything really exciting happening that I'm just really not interested in what's going to happen in a third one. The first one was alright. I won't say that. I didn't hate the first one. It was alright. It was a bit of fun, but it was also really forgettable. And then the second one, I'm sitting in the cinema going, "What's this rubbish?" I just didn't have a clue what was going on. And I'd seen the first film. I was watching it with someone who hadn't seen the first film before, so he found it quite tricky to follow. But I'd seen the first film, and I was watching the second Fantastic Beasts, what's it called, The Crimes of Grindelwald, and I just didn't like it whatsoever. I was confused by it. It was one large setup for the third Fantastic Beasts film. And by the way, this new trailer, as good as the film looks, it also looks like it's still a setup for another film to come. And it's like, can we stop doing setups? Can we stop having a film which is a setup? You need to have a film to exist by itself, and it can set up something in the near distant future as well, like Spider-Man Far From Home. We're going to link to one of my main topics later. But yes, like Spider-Man Far From Home, that is a film which exists by itself and also sets up a third film in that franchise. Do something like that at the moment. That's what the Fantastic Beasts should be doing, but they're not. And it's a bit like, why are they doing all this stuff with Fantastic Beasts? That's not even an official poster up there, by the way. That shows you how much I don't care about it. It's a fan-made poster. I can't believe there's fans of this franchise still, but there is, and they're making a third film, and Mads Mikkelsen looks great in there. He's placing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald, the big bad guy, and I'm not really got an opinion on the Johnny Depp stuff. I don't think he should have been fired, I'll give him that, but, I also think if he was fired, then Amber Heard should have been as well for Aquaman 2, but she's not being, but I'm not really going to go into that, because it's not really my place. I don't have that much of an opinion on it, but at the same time, no, I think Johnny Depp should have kept his role anyway, but nevertheless, yeah. Mads Mikkelsen looks great. He's placing Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. He looks great in this film. I hope he's great. I will go and check out this film, and I bet he's great in there. I bet all the cast are great. Jude Law's great as young Dumbledore in the second Fantastic Beasts films. And these films are not, or actually no, they are awful. I don't know what I'm saying. The second one is awful. Sorry, it's been a long week. The second Fantastic Beasts film is awful, and I just have no interest in this franchise whatsoever. I will go watch this new film, because I'll probably go watch it with people who are fans of the franchise, and so I might, ask their opinion on that, if they like it a lot more than I do with this film. Maybe this film will be the redemption of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Maybe this film will be the Empire Strikes Back of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Maybe that's what it will be. But man alive, I can't see that happening whatsoever. The trailer didn't look bad, but it didn't really grab my interest like other trailers have done this year. And honestly, I hope it's great. I hope this new Fantastic Beasts film blows me away. But I literally have no excitement or anticipation or interest really in this film. I'll watch it when it comes out. But for now, that's kind of my opinion on Fantastic Beasts 3 at the moment. I thought the first two weren't so good, especially the second one, and I'm not really excited for the third one. But nevertheless, if you are, let me know in the comment section below. I'm not taking the excitement away from you. If you're into this franchise, that's great. I'm not taking that away from you whatsoever. I'm just not, and I could maybe live without a Fantastic Beasts 3. That's all I'm saying. But anyway, guys, that is the end of topic number 1. So without further ado, let's move into topic number 2. And by the way, I'm going through these first main topics quite quickly, because my third topic today, which is the title of this live stream, is the thing I'm going to be focused on for quite a lot of this live stream as a whole. But anyway, nevertheless, let's talk about topic number 2. And topic number 2 is that Kingsman 3 is officially happening, and it's shooting next year. So basically, if we jump onto Google here, optical illusion, still giving me that warning, by the way, that the stream's not going well. Hopefully, it doesn't cut out too much in the stream. Fingers crossed it doesn't. But anyway, Kingsman 3 begins filming in September 2022. While promoting the Kingsman, Matthew Vaughn, director of these films, confirms that Kingsman 3 will begin filming in September 2022. Can't even tweet today. In September 2022, and will wrap up Eggsy's story. And they're going on here. It just gives you more about what's going to happening and the past couple of films. And then basically, this is what Matthew Vaughn said. In a recent interview with comicbook.com, Matthew Vaughn, who has helmed all the Kingsman films so far, confirmed that production on Kingsman 3 would start in September 2022. Vaughn confirmed the film will wrap up Eggsy's story, making it the final part of a trilogy of films, not continuing the upcoming prequel. No release date has been set for Kingsman 3, not any word on which of the other cast members are returning. I'm going to guess it's Colin Firth is returning though as well, because he was in the previous two. But anyway, there you go there. Kingsman 3 is happening, and colour me surprised. Honestly, I didn't think we were getting a Kingsman 3, because first of all, I don't think the Kingsman, this new one coming out, Boxing Day in this country, I don't think the Kingsman's going to do that well. Box office and critics wise, to be honest. The Rotten Tomatoes score, which, don't always go to Rotten Tomatoes for a film, because bear in mind, Rotten Tomatoes can be wrong. They have been wrong with me in the past. I haven't agreed with what they said about Bohemian Rhapsody. They give it like a 50%. I think Bohemian Rhapsody is a wonderful movie. But anyway, yes, I don't always agree with Rotten Tomatoes, but they haven't given the film a high percentage. I think today it premiered on Rotten Tomatoes like 43%, which isn't good whatsoever. But I also don't think it's going to do well, commercially. Bear in mind, there's been a lot of focus on Spider-Man, and there's been a lot of focus on, there hasn't really been much focus on West Side Story either. West Side Story bombed because there's been a lot of anticipation surrounding Spider-Man. Ticket sales are soaring through the roof with Spider-Man, which is great. But at the same time, though, there hasn't really been much interest in other films coming out around this time. I think there's something else coming out that I can't think of off the top of my head, which no one's been really interested in as well. It's another film, isn't there? I can't really think of off the top of my head right now, but yes, basically, Spider-Man is opening, and that's capturing everyone's attention right now, not the Kingsman. So I think the Kingsman is going to bomb both critically and, box office-wise. and I also think that could mean that this third Kingsman film gets cancelled. Honestly, think what Matthew Thorne should have done is made Kingsman 1 and 2, and then made Kingsman 3, and then done this prequel. Because I think then you would have had a better idea what this franchise should be, rather than do a prequel in such a weird place. It's such out of place, a Kingsman. I mean, looking forward to seeing it, don't get me wrong, because I'm a fan of the first two Kingsman films, but it's in a weird place. You release the first two Kingsman films, and then you do the Kingsman 3 years after the second Kingsman film, and then you're going to do Kingsman 3, which is going to connect to the Kingsman, which is going to connect to Kingsman 2, but not the Kingsman. That doesn't really make much sense. It's like, they're making the Star Wars movies in the past. George Lucas making Star Wars Episode 4 and 5, and then going to make Episode 1 before he makes Episode 6. That's what it's like doing. It doesn't really make any sense. And, that's nothing against Kingsman 3 already. I'm not saying anything like that. But I just think that maybe Matthew Vaughn has already butchered up his chance of actually, making a third Kingsman film already. Because if this one bombs, if the new Kingsman film bombs, the Kingsman, I don't think that it's... I just don't think that it's gonna... I don't think a Kingsman 3 is gonna happen if this new Kingsman bombs. And I don't want it to bomb, by the way. But there's too much against it. There's just too much against it. Plus, that's the other big thing. If you're in the UK, COVID's not great right now with the new Omicron variant. So, again, that's another reason it could bomb in this country. And Kingsman is it aims itself quite a lot at the UK quite a lot of times. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's still a very, commercial, worldwide product. But still, it's aimed itself quite a lot of a UK audience. And I don't know if the UK audience will be going to the cinemas come Boxing Day this year. We'll have to wait and see. I don't really know what's happening. I don't really know what's happening with COVID right now, but it's not great in the UK right now. But anyway, yes, that's the reason I'm surprised. Another reason I'm surprised as well is that I'm pretty sure Matthew Vaughn, the director of these Kingsman films, has directed another spy franchise recently. He's directed another spy film recently. Pardon me there. He's directed another spy film recently with like Henry Cavill's in there, Bryan Cranston. There's this huge cast. I talked about it on one of my live streams about a month or two ago. And again, it's just so odd for Matthew Vaughn, for any director really, to do two spy films, then do a prequel to those two spy films, and then go and work on another spy film which is completely different than the Kingsman films he's done already, and then go back to the spy films he's already worked on in the past. That's such a weird way of working. And again, it just makes me think that maybe actually after, the Kingsman bombs, and I'm not saying it will by the way, but I reckon it will, but when the Kingsman bombs, it just makes me think that, he's going to go and do this other spy franchise, this other spy film which is already shot, I'm assuming, I don't know, he might still be shooting it, but yes, this other spy film which he's doing at the moment, and they're not going to come back and do Kingsman 3 because actually that other spy film will be more successful. I don't know, but that's what I'm guessing. It's just weird to have it that way. And also, I didn't expect to hear Kingsman 3 will be happening so soon. Bear in mind, this spy film with Matthew Vaughn is shooting right now, probably with Henry Cavill and whatnot. That probably isn't coming out till, I'm guessing here, but 2023, and this movie is shooting in 2022, which means that is he doing straight from one to another? They're going to cross over in terms of production, because I can tell you now, the film he's making at the moment would not finish production by the time he gets around to shooting the film in September 2022. That's not how film productions work, and that's going to be interesting. It also gets me a bit worried, because is he going to be putting 100% effort into Kingsman 3 then? I don't know. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting because I'm a huge fan of the Kingsman films. Well, I say that. I loved the first Kingsman film, and I think the second one was really enjoyable still. A lot of people criticise the second Kingsman film, but in the end, these are not this is not Citizen Kane. This is not The Godfather. You're not going into these films expecting some really masterful writing and exciting direction or whatnot, exciting filmmaking. Although you do get that actually, it's more just a action spy film with a lot of bazaars and a lot of, ooh, look at this, beautiful women, big action set pieces and whatnot. That's what the Kingsman films are. And the second one got criticised a lot because of those reasons. And actually, I think the second one's really enjoyable. I think it does have some big problems, don't get me wrong. I do think the second Kingsman film, Kingsman the Golden Circle, has some big problems. But I also don't agree with all the criticism it got. I actually really enjoy that film, and sometimes I stick it on when I'm having somewhat of a bad day, and actually it makes me smile. And also, other film they get to see Elton John do ninja kicks in. I know that didn't work for a lot of people. Personally, I think seeing Elton John do ninja kicks in the third act of Kingsman 2 is fantastic. But anyway, hopefully Kingsman 3 is just enjoyable. I think people, shouldn't take this franchise too seriously. Now, I might be eating my words come the release of the new Kingsman film, The Kingsman. Maybe The Kingsman is a really serious film, and maybe Matthew Vaughn is taking this whole franchise into a more serious direction. So I might be eating up my words come Boxing Day or whenever I get round to watching The Kingsman. But for now, just enjoy the Kingsman films. And I'm surprised this film is happening. I'm surprised Kingsman 3 is happening. It is, but I'm surprised it is. And I'm looking forward to it nonetheless, because I'm a fan of these Kingsman films. But still, I don't know. A part of me is still thinking this film won't happen, because I don't think The Kingsman is going to do well box office wise, and it's not doing well critic wise already. And also, I don't know. I think Matthew Vaughn is trying to do too much right now, and I don't think it's going to work. And with him shooting this other spy film, which has no connection to Kingsman whatsoever that we're aware of, I just think he's going to be juggling too much, and he's eventually going to choose the new thing over the old thing. And I don't want him to do that, but I also understand why he would. And so, all in all, I'm looking forward to Kingsman 3, don't be wrong, and it's exciting that it's going to finally shoot. It's exciting that it's happening, because I didn't think it would, by the way, after a while. I didn't think it would, but it is happening, and that's interesting, and that's exciting. It's shooting next year, but a part of me just doesn't think it's going to happen. And, it's one of those instances where I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. That's the thing. I'll see it when I believe it. That's an odd way of saying the saying. I'll see it when I believe it. That's what I'm going to say about Kingsman 3. I'll see it when I believe it. No, I'll believe it when I see it. But for now, I don't know. I don't have that much hope in a third Kingsman film actually happening at all. But anyway, that is the end of topic number 2. So, without further ado, let's move into my third and ultimately main topic for today. That is my anticipation for a little movie called Spider-Man No Way Home. Honestly, I've spoken about this film time and time again on this channel. I've reviewed the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. I've reviewed the Amazing Spider-Man films with Andrew Garfield. And I've reviewed the previous Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I've loved all the live-action Spider-Man movies so far. I even really like Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and that's a really enjoyable movie. I'll probably have to go back and rewatch it again, because I remember watching it the first time. I think I was really tired. Put it that way. I think I was really tired. So, I wasn't watching. I don't remember lots of Spider-Verse, but I remember really enjoying it. But nevertheless, all the live action for Spider-Man, I take it back. I haven't really enjoyed all the live action Spider-Man films, but I've loved the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. And I think Andrew Garfield and Emma Stone were fantastic in the Amazing Spider-Man films. And I think that the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, with Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home, have been great. I really, really liked them. And so naturally, I'm quite excited for Spider-Man No Way Home. It's bringing all these characters together. And honestly, I can't wait to see it. I'm going to watch it twice in the cinema tomorrow. And I can't wait. I really can't. I'm going to go and watch it in the morning, and then I'm going to watch it with my brothers the evening of tomorrow, and then I'm actually going to watch it again on Friday with my mates. And I can't wait to see it, because I think it's going to be fantastic. And another reason I think it's going to be fantastic is because of the early reviews there. Again, optical illusion, because of the early reviews. Now, I can't just go onto Rotten Tomatoes to try to before this release started. But, there's some Google reviews already. The greatest Spider-Man movie I have ever seen. They have one there. But also, if you scroll up here a bit, basically, this movie currently has a 9.4 on IMDb. I don't know if you guys can see that. Hopefully you can. One sec, I'll just click on it, actually. Didn't think to click on it. I've had a long week. But anyway, yes, this movie currently got a 9.4 on IMDb. Now, I should also point out that Endgame has got something like an 8.6. And Endgame, I know a lot of people love it and everything like that, but it's not worth an 8.6 out of 10 on IMDb. I know a lot of people love that movie, and that's great, but it's not worth that rating. And I think people I know would even agree with me who actually like that movie. So I'm going to guess, and poor speculation, but I'm going to guess that Spider-Man No Way Home isn't really a 9.4 out of 10, but it is exciting that people are liking it. And also, if you go into here, when the early reactions came out, earlier this week. Give me a sec. When the early reactions came out earlier this week, a lot of people were really liking it. I mean, the premiere, I think, was on Monday. And by the way, I'm not going to be covering spoilers until I actually see the movie and I have to give my first review. I'm going to cover spoilers. I'm going to do a big live stream after seeing the film when I cover spoilers and whatnot. But basically, if we scroll down here a bit, oh, that's not a great review. Ugh. Here, it's a blazing take. The Spider-Man movie would have been better with 1 to 3 less villains. That'd be interesting. Hopefully it juggles the villains well. But anyway, yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm not going to be talking about spoilers in this live stream today. So, no spoilers whatsoever. If I haven't really heard much. I've heard one thing that happens in this movie, which I kind of wish I didn't know. But I have heard one thing since the premiere. And I kind of wish I didn't know that thing. But apart from that, yeah, I don't really know anything about the movie going into tomorrow, which I'm very excited about. But yeah, I'm not going to be talking about... Okay, turns out that... Brilliant. It turns out that basically the early reactions aren't actually loading up. I'll see if I can get some other ones. Give me a sec, sorry about this. Gets mostly strong reviews in its first reactions. Does it live up to the hype? It seems so. But anyway, there's a new image from the film. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, let's see what some of these reviews are saying. Some of the ones from like The Wrap and IGN, quite credible sources. Okay, let's see what some of the reviews are saying. But yeah, basically, I don't know anything that happens in this film. If you are watching this live, this live stream live, please don't, spoil anything, because I don't want to know what happens in the film till tomorrow, really. I've already found out one thing, and which one thing I wish I didn't know. But anyway, yes. It seems like these early reactions, this Spider-Man movie is going to be absolutely fantastic. Let's see what the Wrap says. With Spider-Man No Way Home, the MCU happily and mostly following its own internal logic, careened its kookiness, and it encompasses the previous big screen manifestations of web-slinging hero into a single narrative. The most superheroic feat on display might be the film's ability to keep human-sized emotions and relationships front and center, even as the very fabric of time and space twists itself into knots. So that's quite a good review there. So IGN says, Spider-Man No Way Home hits all the right notes as the MCU's latest entry. Its impact on the universe as a whole, as well as the overall emotional beats, all feel earned. Stellar performances meet with what feels like a Saturday morning cartoon riff, with all the devastating punches we've come to expect from the sneaky universe. Though it struggles with some tired superhero tropes, everything else about it will leave fans grinning from ear to ear. Then a geek also give another good review. Let's see what Slash Film say. If you poke too many holes in the narrative, Spider-Man No Way Home starts to become undone. But if you take it at face value, it's a sweet, moving swing of a Spider-Man film that mostly manages to land. That's interesting. Not very positive, but pretty positive. The Guardian. It's flawed for sure, but still moves with deftness than most. And there's an ending that suggests an awareness of its root, post-credit scene aside, hinting at a promising way forward rather than back. Consider the curse of sorts of broken. So that's kind of a good review. Not, strongly positive, but, pretty positive. The Hollywood Reporter. Some of the fan service plays fairly well here. Some is unsuitable enough you expect an actor to look into the camera and wink at you whilst he's delivering their line. But in the end, No Way Home does use its multiversal mayhem to address the only real problem with the Holland era web-slinger, the Iron Man-ification of the character. It's quite clever that. In which his already amazing powers keep getting overshadowed by the gadgets given him by Tony Stark. This is the least fun of the What's Holland pictures by a wide margin, intentionally so, to some extent, but it's a hell of a lot better than the last Spidey threequel, Sam Raimi's old stuff and ill-conceived Spider-Man 3. Completely disagree with what that guy said at the end, whoever wrote the Hollywood Reporter review. I think Spider-Man 3 is a great movie. But yes, overall, these reviews are positive, and I'm pretty sure at the moment, I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure at the moment, if you give me a sec, the view... It's doing pretty good on... Yeah, 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty high for a Spider-Man movie. That's pretty high for any movie in general. So, that's saying something. This movie has currently got a 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Colour me excited. Honestly, when these reviews came out on Tuesday morning, it was while I'm in the UK. When these reviews came out on Tuesday morning, I was literally smiling from ear to ear. Like the reviews say, honestly, all these early reactions came out. It's like, this is the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2, since Spider-Verse, which I know was only 2018, but still, a lot of people are really loving this movie. And honestly, that got me so much more excited to see it. I mean, I haven't actually got it up there, but there was one review I read, I think it was Tuesday morning, which basically said the film was really well shot as well. Like, I was thinking, wow. I'm not dissing John Watts' direction, on Spider-Man Homecoming or Spider-Man Far From Home, but still, like, those movies aren't as well shot as the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies, and actually hearing this movie is well shot from, film critics who probably went to the premiere and whatnot is exciting. And hearing a lot of nerds online, be gleeful with joy after seeing this movie, which is great as well. I'm really, really looking forward to it for so many reasons. I mean, at the same time, though, I've also got some predictions. I think a big character's going to die. Now, I haven't read anything. Haven't read any leaks. Haven't read a thing about Spider-Man No Way Home. So, yes, this is all just pure speculation. If you have seen the movie, and you are watching the stream, by the way, which is very unlikely, but still possible, please don't let me know. Please don't let me know in case I have a prediction right or wrong. But yes, basically, one of my big predictions is that I think someone's going to die. I think either Ned, MJ, although probably not MJ because from the trailer it looks like she's going to die, so I don't think think she's going to die now because it looks like she's going to die in the trailer, so I don't think that's what's going to happen. But yes, I think it's either going to be Ned, MJ, Aunt May, or Happy. I think it's going to be one of those four characters that dies. Happy would be quite interesting because he's been in the MCU in general since the beginning. He directed, the actor Jon Favreau directed the first Iron Man, so that'd be quite interesting if this is how Happy dies. Ned would be interesting because I think that might really get an evil side out of Peter because he's, Peter's best mate. And also MJ would be quite interesting, although I don't think that's what's going to happen. But still, she might die a different way than we've seen her die in the trailer. Well, we've seen her falling from the scaffolding in the trailer, things like that. It might be completely different in the actual film, and maybe she does die, and in the actual film, it's a much more, I don't know, not necessarily gruesome death, but violent death. Aunt May, I think, is also a possibility as well. I think Aunt May is the least likely, because I think Aunt May is quite key to these Spider-Man movies, and if they're going to go and make more Tom Holland Spider-Man movies in the future, I think Aunt May still keep part of those films. But also, on the other side, if you kill her, that's also quite an interesting way to approach future Spider-Man movies. So again, that could be quite interesting. So, I don't know. I think a big character's going to die. I also think Tom Hardy's Venom's going to show up. I think there's that scene in the trailer where Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange is like, they're all coming through and I can't stop them. I think that moment is a moment we get all these different Spider-Man characters from previous movies come into the film. Again, I don't know, pure speculation, but I think that moment is a moment we potentially get, I don't know, the new Goblin, should I say, the new Goblin from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Maybe, maybe not. I wouldn't be heartbroken if he didn't, I've got to admit that. Maybe that moment we get the Rhino from the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Again, not that it's needed, or maybe that moment we get Tom Hardy's Venom. I think Tom Hardy's Venom, especially with Venom Let There Be Carnage's post-credit scene, or Venom 2's post-credit scene, I think that's certainly hinting that Tom Hardy, almost said Tom Hardy there, but I think that's, someone's beeping the horn outside there, don't know if you heard, but yes, basically I think in some way, that's hinting that Tom Hardy's Venom shows up in this film. I don't know how, but maybe it's a cameo, maybe it's a post-credit scene. I'll have to wait and see. Maybe it's a post-credit scene, or maybe he's actually a big character in this film. Now, I don't think he will be a big character, because I think Sony is planning to do some sort of like a Spider-Man v Venom film in the near distant future. We'll have to wait and see, but I think that's what they're doing, because they've done 2 Venom films so far, which have hinted at Spider-Man, especially with Venom 2, but haven't really gone into that rivalry too much yet. And I think putting Tom Hardy's Venom in this film alongside all these other, villains coming back would just make it a bit too claustrophobic. But, Marvel might think of a way to do it. Marvel and Sony might think of a way to put Tom Hardy's Venom into this film, and then maybe it might work, but nevertheless, we'll have to wait and see when the film comes out. Well, when I see the film tomorrow. And also, I think that Doc Ock, how am I going to phrase this? I think Doc Ock, the Alpha Melina Doc Ock, which you see him returning from Spider-Man 2 in this film, I think he is going to turn good and bad. I think he's going to be one of those people which is in the middle for quite a lot of this movie. I think he might be controlled by Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin at some point. I think that a lot of people are just saying from the second trailer that Doc Ock is going to be good in this film. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I actually think that he's going to be bad and then good, then maybe turn bad again, then maybe turn good again, and then ultimately turn good, because that's how his character arc went in Spider-Man 2. Pardon me there, in Spider-Man 2. And that might be quite interesting, having a character like Doc Ock go from good to bad to good to bad. And I don't think he'll intentionally do that. Like, I don't think he'll be thinking he's going to go good and bad, but I think he'll be controlled by either like Electro, Green Goblin, the Lizard, or Sandman. Again, pure speculation, but I think they have something planned with Doc Ock, because otherwise, why do you bring him back? He had such a brilliant character arc in Spider-Man 2. Why else do you bring him back? But nevertheless, he is in this movie, and I do think they got something good planned there. And also, I think Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin is the main role in the film. It could be Electro, it could be Doc Ock, it could be the Lizard, it could be Sandman. I don't think it is a Lizard or Sandman, by the way, because we haven't really seen much of them in the trailers. But, I mean, saying that, though, we haven't seen much of Green Goblin in the trailers, but I'm just going to think, Willem Dafoe, if you're getting an actor like Willem Dafoe to come back to a character who hasn't played in, almost 20 years, you want to give him something good. And maybe he isn't the main villain, but I do think he's going to have quite a substantial role in this film. And also, I think because he was the first villain, and this is kind of my only reason that I think he's the main villain, but I think because he was the very first Spider-Man villain we met on the big screen, I think that means he's going to be the main villain in this film. And I think if Tobey Maguire is in this film, he will have another fight-off, if you will, with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Now, I might be completely wrong there, but wouldn't that be exciting? Wouldn't it be quite, emotionally satisfying as well? And that kind of leads me on to my last prediction. And it's a bit out there, but it's a bit of a wild prediction, but here we go. The 3 Spider-Men are in this film. I've got to admit, I'm thinking more now than ever that they are. I don't know for certain. I haven't read anything online. I've tried to stay offline as much as possible recently, especially over the past couple of days. But I think Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire are definitely in this film. I have about 98% confidence in this film. Now, 2% of me is thinking they're not. That's 2% of me is thinking maybe they're not, and maybe it's all just been one big ruse by, I don't know, YouTubers online to get views. Maybe that's so. But wouldn't it be good if they was? And also, I think with all these reviews coming out, I think with, the film getting 97% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think the film getting such high reviews on IMDb, which, bear in mind, is quite user-based, Most reviews on IMDb come from people, not from the critics. That's where those ratings come from. So I think with all that mushed together, I think they're in this movie, because otherwise I don't think viewers would be so happy with this movie overall. I think they're in the movie, and I also think they've got a big role in there. Again, might be completely wrong, but I don't think the trailers have shown as much. I was watching an interview with Tom Holland when he was promoting this movie, and he was saying, Sony did a really clever thing with the second trailer, where basically they just re-edited the first trailer, and when you watch the second trailer, you realise, oh, that's what they've done. That's what they've done. They've just re-edited the second trailer and added a little bit more footage in there. We do finally see, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in the big goblin costume in the second trailer, and there's a couple more glimpses of Electro, the Lizard, and Sandman and whatnot. But we don't really see much else in the second trailer. So I honestly think that there's some big things being hidden in this film, and I think there's things that I'm not even anticipating which are being hidden in this film. I think there's going to be some big surprises, which, I'm not even anticipating. And I'm excited about that. I can't wait till these big surprises are. I've been talking about this movie for God knows how long, and I just can't wait to see it. I've been saying, I think Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield in this movie for such a long while now, and I just want to find out. I just want to find out at this point. I've been trying to stay offline as much as possible. I've read a couple of things which mean they might be, but I don't want to know. I want to find out in the movie. I want to find out the way Sony and Marvel intended me to find out. I don't want to find out via phone screen, via some really weird leaked, video from a cinema. I don't want to find out like that. I want to go to cinema and watch in iSense, which is kind of Odeon's version of IMAX, where I'm going to watch it tomorrow. I want to go into the iSense cinema tomorrow and watch it in big loud visual sound and things like that. It made much sense what I just said there, but big loud sound and big visuals, that's what I meant. And I want to see the 3 Spider-Men pop up in there, if they're in there. If they're in there. If they're in there. But anyway, yes, that's the way I want to see it. I don't want to see it like, I don't know, I don't want to see it on someone's phone screen, which they recorded, and then they're put onto YouTube, so I'm watching it on my phone screen. No, I want to watch it on the big silver screen, which is what I'm doing twice tomorrow. I'm tempted to actually come out of the cinema tomorrow and give my first reaction, because I've been excited for the movie for so long. It's been my most anticipated movie of 2021 for as long as I can remember in this year. Bear in mind, there's been a lot of else, but I've had a lot of other stuff going on in this film. Look, pardon me, there I'll start again. I've had a lot of other stuff go on in this year, so my memory at the moment is a bit all over the place because, man alive, I've had a long week, and it's only Wednesday. There we go. It's only Wednesday, I've had a long week, but now I've done my work, and then, you know, I'm on my Christmas break now, if you will, and for as long as I can remember, not that you cared about that whatsoever, by the way, but anyway, for as long as I can remember, I've been excited about Spider-Man No Way Home. With all the rumours, seeing Alfred's Doc Ock return, which is one of my favourite comic book villains in general. Honestly, I love the way Alfred's Doc Ock is used in Spider-Man 2, and fingers crossed he's used just as good or even better in this new Spider-Man movie. You know, me rewatching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies after not watching them for so long was a real treat, because I must admit, I didn't have great memories of watching the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films as a kid before I rewatched them again this year. And actually rewatching the first one and just thinking like, oh my god, this is great, rewatching Spider-Man 2 and going, oh my god, this is even better. Then rewatching Spider-Man 3 and going, actually, you know what, this actually worked a lot better than I thought it was going to. And then rewatching the Amazing Spider-Man films and actually thinking, Andrew Garfield's the best part of this film. That's how I felt with the Amazing Spider-Man films, and, you know, I'm not really the biggest fan of them. Although, I do kind of enjoy Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because of the whole Gwen Stacy stuff. Not going to spoil that, in case you don't know, but if you don't know, you're living under a rock. But yeah, the whole Gwen Stacy storyline in Spider-Man, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, should I say, in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, makes me like that film a little bit more than the first one, but still, I don't think the Amazing Spider-Man films are that good. But I think Andrew Garfield is great in those films, and I really enjoy the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I really, really like Homecoming, and I like Far From Home. Not as much as I would like to, but I do like Spider-Man Far From Home. And I also enjoy Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And, you know, all this is getting me excited to see what this new Spider-Man movie has in store. And that's another reason I'm excited to see it, by the way. It's the end of Tom Holland's Homecoming trilogy. I think if Tom Holland continues to be Spider-Man, and I do think he will, by the way, but I think if he continues to be Spider-Man, I think these movies are going to have a very different tone. I don't think they'll be like the light-hearted comedies like Ferris Bueller's Day Off, which they've been so far. Bear in mind I haven't seen the new one, but, you know, Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Far From Home are quite similar to a movie like The Breakfast Club, or, you know, Spider-Man, or, you know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, that sort of tone. And I don't think it's going to carry on that way past No Way Home. I think there's going to be a very drastic change of direction past No Way Home. I think that if Tom Holland continues to be Spider-Man, and I do think he is, I think the movies going forward will be quite dark and hopefully quite exciting. And also, John Watts is stepping down as director of these Spider-Man movies past this new one. He's not going to direct any more Spider-Man movies that we know so far past No Way Home, because I think he's going to go and direct a movie with George Clooney and Brad Pitt, I think next year. And he's also directing the new Fantastic Four MCU film, the new MCU Fantastic Four, if you will, which is going to come out probably 2024. Will that work? But anyway, yes, you know, John Watts is stepping down as director, and also I think because Tom Holland is saying quite a lot, this is the end of the Homecoming trilogy. Because if you notice, all these Spider-Man movies so far, Spider-Man Homecoming, Spider-Man Far From Home, and Spider-Man No Way Home, have all had home in their titles. I think with this being the end of the Homecoming trilogy, will mean that it's going to take quite a drastic change of direction past this film, which is another reason I think someone's going to die. I think someone will lead that character, you know, Tom Holland's Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man, to take that other change in direction. I think someone will die in this film, someone close to that character, which will mean that the Peter Parker character goes in a completely different direction further going forwards. I mean, I don't know. I'll put it out here. Again, pure speculation. But would it make sense? Would it make sense going forward? And also, I could go on and on, but I'm just really excited to see the movie, and I kind of want it to be about, I'm watching about 1 o'clock tomorrow, actually. I kind of want it to be about 1 o'clock tomorrow. I want it to be lunch tomorrow. I want to be sitting in the cinema, and I want to be watching this movie. I kind of wish I wanted to go and see it today, actually, but I've had other things on, unfortunately. But, nevertheless, I'm looking forward to seeing it twice tomorrow. That's how excited I am for this movie. I haven't done that ever before, I haven't gone to see a movie twice at the cinema on the same day. I've seen movies loads of times at the cinema. Like, I've seen loads of movies twice at the cinema. But I've never seen a movie twice in the same day at the cinema. So this is the first tomorrow, and I can't wait to see it. I'm going to see it again on Friday. Hopefully, it's bloody fantastic. Hopefully, I come out of this movie and go, you know what? That's my favourite Spider-Man movie now. And you know what? That's my favourite Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2. I hope I come out of the theatre tomorrow, or the cinema should I say, with that reaction. Hopefully it's fantastic. Hopefully it blows me away. Hopefully it delivers as well. Hopefully it really does. And hopefully it has a Spider-Man in there. So I really want them to be in there myself. I'm not even like as big a Spider-Man fan as some other people. I'm a Spider-Man fan, don't be wrong. I really love I really love, the Tom Maguire Spider-Man movies, and I enjoyed Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man, and I enjoyed the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies. I'm a Spider-Man fan, but not as much as other people. And I just think that Sony and Marvel will, quote-unquote, drop the ball, as I heard another YouTuber say the other day, if they're not in this movie. If the Spider-Man are not in this movie, I just think they will drop the ball. That's what I heard another YouTuber say. I think Sony and Marvel will drop the ball if they're not in this movie, so I just think they are. I'm also looking forward to seeing these villains back, though. And the music. I know for a lot of people that's not a big thing, but the music, I want to hear that Tom Maguire's Spider-Man theme is in there. I want to hear the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man theme, whether it's his theme from the Amazing Spider-Man 1 or the Amazing Spider-Man 2. Because even though I'm not a big fan of those movies, the music, whether it's Hans Zimmer or James Horner, has always been great from the Amazing Spider-Man films. And I want to hear the Green Goblin theme again. I want to hear Doc Ock's theme again. I want to hear Sandman theme again, or if we can, Bear in mind, I don't think the score for Spider-Man 3 was loved as much as the scores for Spider-Man 1 and 2, but I want to hear the Sandman theme again. I want to hear Liz's theme again. Not so sure about, hearing Electro's theme again, because that was one weird aspect of Amazing Spider-Man 2. Honestly, Electro's theme, the theme music for Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a really weird piece of music. But nevertheless, if it's in this film, that's great. I want to hear all this music. I want to have such a fantastic song and score. I hope Michael Giacchino did a great job. I really do. I have heard that one segment of the score, which was leaked online, which sounded great, by the way, but honestly, I just want to hear some fantastic themes. I want to hear some triumphant themes. And I want it to feel like a Spider-Man movie more than anything. I want it to feel like a Spider-Man-centric movie, rather than Spider-Man Far From Home, which feels like it's trying to connect itself too much to other MCU properties, like the whole stuff in Fury in that film, having Maria Hill in that film, having Happy in that film, having all these references like Thor, Captain Marvel, and so on and so on and so on. That's what Spider-Man Far From Home felt like to me. It felt like it was like, okay, this is a movie after Endgame. We're going to wrap up some of the storylines we didn't wrap up in Endgame in this film. And actually, even so I do quite enjoy Spider-Man Far From Home, I think the weaker sections of that film is when it tries to tie itself to other MCU properties. But anyway, yes, I've already spoken about that in my Spider-Man Far From Home review, so do go and check that out if you haven't already. But yes, I'm looking forward to Spider-Man No Way Home quite a lot. I said it before and I'll say it again, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. The reviews are saying it's great. Even some of the sniffy reviews are actually saying, you know what, it's not bad. It's not bad. And as long as I have that reaction in this film, that's great. I want to go into Christmas, because it'll probably be the last movie I watch before Christmas now. I want to go into Christmas, saying to myself, I loved Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what I want to feel going into Christmas this year. Hopefully I do. Hopefully it's great. And hopefully it exceeds my expectations. That's quite a big ask of it. But I have heard some other YouTubers who've seen the film say it does exceed their expectations. So hopefully I'm in that same ballpark. Hopefully fantastic. I can't wait to see it. And when I see it, I'll probably get my review upon either Saturday or Sunday. So do look forward to my review of Spider-Man No Way Home, probably coming this weekend at some point. But until then, guys, can't wait to see it. And I will be having my spoiler spectacular review of this film, of this big live stream. It's going to be a big spoiler spectacular live stream, probably next Monday. But until then, guys, I can't wait to see it. And fingers crossed, it's fucking fantastic. Anyway, guys, that is the end of Top Number 3. I can't wait for Spider-Man No Way Home. And like I said before, look forward to my next live stream, which will probably be Monday, which will be my spoiler thoughts on this new Spider-Man movie. But for now, guys, that is the end of my 46th live stream. Thank you for watching. If you haven't watched this live, it doesn't say anyone watching this live, but if YouTube's lying to me, YouTube, how dare you? But yes, if someone has been watching this live, thank you for watching this live, and also thank you for watching this on playback. And as always, if you haven't yet, please do click down below and like and subscribe on this live stream. I look forward to many more. both film and TV reviews and live streams coming very soon on this channel. And also remember, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. But until then, guys, see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Give me a sec. My computer's starting to respond. Okay, see you guys again soon. But bye for now. Bye.